King Charles will be dressed in golden robes that were previously worn by his ancestors for his coronation this weekend. His Majesty will bear layer upon layer of glittering coronation vestments on his body, inspired by priestly attire, during the religious service in Westminster Abbey's Coronation Theatre. To keep with the monarch's sustainability beliefs where possible, the priceless vestments were also once worn by his mother Elizabeth II, grandfather George VI and great-grandfather George V during their coronations at Westminster Abbey, the Mirror reports. The lavish garments are usually locked away with the crown jewels inside the Tower of London but will be safely withdrawn from the castle as part of a £150 million security exercise called Operation Tower of London. The King will also be reusing the coronation girdle, or sword belt, and coronation gauntlet, or glove, that were both specially created for his grandfather George VI back in 1937. While Buckingham Palace is yet to confirm what the King will be wearing underneath the vestments on the day, he will follow in the footsteps of the 20th century rulers by wearing the super tunica, created for George V in 1911 and later the imperial mantle. The gold gown was originally worn by George IV in 1821 and has been worn at all coronations since 1911. Caroline de Guittot, Deputy Surveyor of the King's Work of Art at the Royal Collection Trust, said the monarch made his own personal decision. She added, "It's in keeping with this idea of sustainability and efficiency to reuse these pieces. After all, they are in remarkable condition. And I suppose it's also reflecting back to the coronation of his grandfather, King George VI." Caroline, who has been brought in to help prepare the valuable garments for the monumental ceremony, said, "These are really the most important historic textiles in the royal collection and they have a very great history associated with them, having been worn at several coronations both in the 19th and the 20th century. The King will wear the Colubium Cendonis, a sleeveless linen tunic that symbolizes simplicity and purity, immediately after the anointing. Charles will then opt for the super tunica, and the coronation girdle, or sword belt, will be fastened at his waist before the presentation of regalia begins. The super tunica, traditionally known as the close pole of cloth of gold, is based on priestly robes worn at royal ceremonies dating back to Byzantine times. The garment was made in 1911 for King George's coronation. The hefty item weighs approximately 2 kilograms and is made from cloth of gold. The intricate fabric is made by wrapping silk thread with thin pieces of gold or silver metal before it is woven, producing a glittering, but heavy fabric. The coronation girdle from 1937 consists of embroidered cloth of gold accompanied by a gold buckle stamped with national emblems. The girdle will be placed on top of the super tunica and comes with a gold clip used for attaching the sword of offering, symbolic of being able to decide between good and evil, during the investiture. The single coronation glove, otherwise known as the coronation gauntlet, will go on the King's right hand while he holds the sovereign scepter with cross during the crowning. The glove is made of white leather and is embroidered with gilt metal thread, wire, and spangles in the form of national emblems including the Tudor rose, thistle, shamrock, oak leaves, and acorns. The back of the hand has an embroidered ducal coronet above the coat of arms of the family of the Dukes of Newcastle. When he arrives at the Abbey, Charles will be wearing King George VI's crimson red robe of state, which he will remove for his anointing, before being consecrated in holy oil while wearing a simple white shirt. Then for the investiture element, which features his crowning, Charles will first put on a sleeveless white garment called the colubium sendonus, Latin for shroud tunic. He will also be given a stole royal, also known as the coronation stole, a long, narrow embroidered band of gold silk which goes around the shoulders on top of the supertunica. As the service comes to an end, the king takes off the robes and changes into George VI's purple robe of estate for his departure from the abbey. The order of the garments the king will wear at his coronation are, the robe of state, a simple white linen shirt for the anointing, the colubium sendonus, the supertunica, coronation sword belt, stole royal and imperial mantle, robe royal, and the robe of estate.
From